Have you ever wondered what exactly creates the disparity between the rich and the middle class? Why do workers become poor while the rich enjoy their lives? Once revealed, my rich dad taught me the money secret that my poor dad, head of education, could never teach me. Increasing spending with each salary raise is quite common for most middle-class people. The justification we often give for this behavior is that we deserve it because we work very hard for it. Moreover, many of us like to keep up with others. If our neighbor buys a new car, we try to do the same. Has this ever happened to you? No spending is justified if it harms your financial situation or makes your life uncomfortable. Trading for a bigger house, buying a more expensive car, or taking more luxurious vacations quickly adds financial stress. We are not saying that such spending is never justified, but we need to question whether we really need all these luxuries or if we are just following trends. And as we discuss following trends, most middle-class people strive to fit in socially. We try to mimic the lifestyles of celebrities or influencers because it gives us external validation. What we don't realize is that celebrities and influencers increase their wealth through social media while we decrease our wealth trying to keep up. It is crucial to keep in mind where your money is going and prioritize your spending. Allocating part of your income to emergencies and retirement and then spending only optional money on luxuries is a very good habit that allows the rich to remain rich. They first set aside money for emergencies and retirement and only then spend on luxuries. The rich live with a financially stable lifestyle and we should learn from them. A practical rule we should follow is that our spending should not grow faster than our income. Only after securing your future needs can you spend money on luxuries. Most of the rich invest their money in assets that provide stable long-term returns. However, most middle-class investors try to beat the market. Trying to beat the market is a financial threat that keeps you stuck in the same situation throughout life. Many of us buy or sell investments with every small fluctuation in the market. Did you know that even the legendary investor Warren Buffett made the same mistake when buying his first businesses? He bought 3 businesses from an oil company for $8.25 each. By the end of the day, they were being sold for $7. Fearing this small setback, he sold these businesses a few months later for $40 each. If he had held on to the investments for just a few years, he would have sold them for $200 each. But Mr. Buffett was only 11 years old when he made this mistake, while most of us make the same mistake in adulthood. We think about exiting only after getting quick gains, without considering the company's fundamentals and growth prospects. The rich don't do this. They buy undervalued investments and let them grow over the years. This requires strict discipline, as they are not tempted by small, quick gains. Another market timing trap is waiting for a major market downturn before buying. The biggest disadvantage of this strategy is that while we wait, our money sits idle in a bank account, missing out on opportunities. This can lead to various missed opportunities. In a bull market, there's the chance of prices falling. And in a bear market, investing in the stock market becomes riskier. So, it's better to invest in the market. According to Mr. Buffett, instead of waiting for an opportunity in the market, it's better to invest in S&P 500 index funds, which provide an 8% long-term return. He argues that for the average investor, accurately and consistently predicting market movements is extremely difficult. The strategy of buying low and selling high is easier said than done. Even investors with a deep understanding of market trends struggle to time the market. Therefore, an 8% long-term return from an index fund is much better than most available investment strategies. While most middle-class people think that risk tolerance and risk capacity are the same thing, there's a big difference between the two. Risk capacity determines how much risk we can afford to take. This means our financial constraints prevent us from taking very high risks. For example, if we have large student debts to pay off, we can't consider quitting our job. On the other hand, risk tolerance determines how much risk we want to take. Another market timing trap is waiting for a major market downturn before buying. The biggest disadvantage of this strategy is that while we wait, our money sits idle in a bank account, missing out on opportunities. This can lead to various missed opportunities. In a bull market, there's the chance of prices falling. And in a bear market, investing in the stock market becomes riskier. So, it's better to invest in the market. According to Mr. Buffett, instead of waiting for an opportunity in the market, it's better to invest in S&P 500 index funds, which provide an 8% long-term return. He argues that for the average investor, accurately and consistently predicting market movements is extremely difficult. The strategy of buying low and selling high is easier said than done. Even investors with a deep understanding of market trends struggle to time the market. Therefore, an 8% long-term return from an index fund is much better than most available investment strategies. While most middle-class people think that risk tolerance and risk capacity are the same thing, there's a big difference between the two. Risk capacity determines how much risk we can afford to take. This means our financial constraints prevent us from taking very high risks. For example, if we have large student debts to pay off, we can't consider quitting our job. On the other hand, risk tolerance determines how much risk we want to take. An example would be a millionaire who prefers to keep all his money in government bonds instead of investing in the stock market, even when the market is showing a clear growth trend. The main reason behind this behavior is risk aversion, where people are more afraid of losing more than $1 than the pleasure they would have in gaining the same $1. For the same reason, most people don't want to start a business, even if they have a substantial salary. The biggest reason is the fear of those four words. What if I fail? But this reluctance to take calculated risks keeps us stuck in the middle class throughout our lives. The rich take calculated risks when a lucrative opportunity arises, and the main reason they can do this is because they have secure salaries. In the event of your business idea failing, we're not suggesting you quit your job today and start a business immediately. Perhaps you're good at writing. Why not start writing content in your spare time? If you're good with numbers, start a small consultancy and see how things develop. You won't know if the business idea will work or not without trying, and starting a side business is the best way to do that. If you notice potential and find that it can generate more money than your 9-to-5 job, then taking that risk might be worth it. At worst, you may fail, but with your salaries, you can return to the job market and get another job too. But if you succeed, you'll have the opportunity to be among the top 1% richest in the world. But such a reward doesn't come for those who take no risks. Nowadays, there's a lot of confusion around investment, with financial influencers popping up everywhere. We all understand the value of investment, but the poorest don't know where to invest. Investing in the right place becomes extremely crucial because small differences in investment parameters can lead to financial disaster. Not considering various factors such as investment options, current market conditions, and personal investment objectives leads to errors in investment decisions. An example of thoughtless investment is following financial advice from friends and relatives who do not have a solid financial foundation. Furthermore, blindly following your financial advisor's advice without verifying their analyses is another threat you should avoid. This small example is the reason why most middle-class people remain stuck in this bracket, living from paycheck to paycheck. Additionally, we should always avoid emotional or trend-based investments. For instance, investing in new and expensive vehicles just because everyone else is investing in them can lead to wealth erosion. A significant example of this was the recent cryptocurrency craze. The rich do not invest all their wealth in such risky investments. They carefully weigh the pros and cons and only put money where it gets the most value. Therefore, middle-class investors should always keep their investment goals in mind. The first step to finding the right investments is aligning our investment objectives, both short and long-term. After defining our goals, we should find investments that meet our return goals and are within our risk capacity. Investing with such objectives requires patience and discipline while keeping our spending under control, not adapting to changing times. There was a time when only larger cities offered higher salaries, but this also meant a higher cost of living. However, in today's globalized world, driven by digital technology, most business activities can be conducted from anywhere in the world. Hence, many entrepreneurs are embracing the digital nomad lifestyle, opting to work independently as freelancers, consultants, or entrepreneurs. However, most people still stuck in traditional jobs are reluctant to accept this changing landscape. They do not wish to move to smaller cities, even if they offer a lower cost of living, as they do not want to give up the big city life. This is one of the biggest misconceptions one can make early in their career. Many of us are influenced by the idea that going big or going home is the only option, as if going home was something negative. What many fail to realize is that some of the most successful companies in the world were started by talented individuals who began outside major urban centers. Apple, Amazon, and Google are just a few examples. Working in lower-cost cities is extremely cost-efficient, and that's what you need at the beginning of your career. You can save more money by reducing living costs. This not only secures your future, but also increases your ability to take risks. With more resources available, you can start a side project that generates a passive income stream while continuing with your regular job. To further increase your income, being averse to change is never advantageous. As time progresses, it's essential to embrace these changes to remain relevant. Many consider a house merely as a place to live, while the wealthiest see it as a productive asset. While middle-class investors believe that renting a house is more economical, they often forget that mortgage payments are tax-deductible, resulting in lower annual tax obligations. Additionally, renting out a house can generate a source of passive income, freeing you from the pressures of paying the mortgage. Furthermore, renting out a house offers protection against inflation, as real estate investments typically appreciate during inflationary periods. Thus, even when prices rise, you remain financially empowered. If you aspire to transform your financial situation, reducing essential expenses and considering renting a house can be a valuable strategy. Turn your mind back to your parents' days. Simpler times, right? Now think fast. Today, you are more prosperous than they ever imagined. The world is at your fingertips, but when the sun sets, the weight of financial stress still hangs over you. Feel it? It's anxiety, confusion, but also hope. Today, Americans rank as the wealthiest population in history. But why are so many trapped in a cycle of debt? Investing in knowledge pays the best interest. As Benjamin Franklin said, let's put things into perspective by looking at the global population and their financial situations. We can categorize them into three distinct groups based on percentages. First, we have the elite, the 5%. These individuals represent the pinnacle of financial success, possessing vast generational wealth, often in the millions or billions. This wealth is not just for their lifetime, but is intended to benefit multiple generations after them. Next, we move to the 15%. This segment represents the middle class, people who lead comfortable lives, providing homes, enjoying vacations, and reaping the rewards of work without extravagance. However, the vast majority, 80%, find themselves in a challenging position, often dealing with financial instability, living from paycheck to paycheck, and constantly navigating the turbulent waters of financial uncertainty. Feel the weight of these numbers. They are stories they tell, lives they represent. Now think about the source of our knowledge. Schools have many things to teach us, but often financial education is not among them. What we learn about money in school differs significantly from real financial literature. The financial industry revolves around two things: debt and fees. However, our educational system prepares us to be workers, not financial experts. Do you notice this disconnect? Speaking of financial literature, debt is a common financial instrument, almost becoming a norm. From buying gifts to clothes, people are accumulating debt in a worrying manner. However, it's important to remember that not all debts are equal. Some can be investments, while others can represent a financial trap. Credit card rewards can be tempting. Who doesn't want cash back or airline miles? However, if you're using them without a plan, you might end up paying more in interest. You earn rewards, but the risk lies in not knowing what you're doing. As Warren Buffett warned, let's start with a widely held belief. Jobs offer security. Think again. During the 2008 financial crisis, the United States faced one of the severest recessions since the Great Depression. This economic collapse resulted in a significant reduction in jobs, with the number of unemployed in the U.S. reaching 6.8 million between 2008 and 2009. The unemployment rate hit 10% in October 2009, the anxiety of the unknown. This serves as a strong reminder of the risks associated with relying solely on a job as a source of income. Just as a tree doesn't depend on a single branch to support all its fruits, individuals should consider diversifying their income sources to protect themselves against unemployment and economic uncertainties. The economic crisis is a disaster transitioning to our social environment. In the era of Instagram and TikTok, it's easy to succumb to the pressure of maintaining a high standard of living, with friends flaunting expensive tastes. It's easy to give in to temptation. However, remember, true wealth is not about ostentation. It's about financial stability and peace of mind. Have you ever wondered why, despite having a good income, you still feel financially insecure? It's a matter of mindset. If we don't change our mindset, we'll never achieve wealth. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, observed that many of us confuse assets with liabilities. Assets, like real estate, are assets that generate income. On the other hand, liabilities, like luxury cars, are assets that don't generate income and actually result in significant expenses, such as fuel, maintenance, and insurance. It's essential to identify the difference between the two to move towards financial stability. Another crucial aspect is financial education. Most of us are taught in school to follow a predefined path. Get good grades, go to college, get a job, save money, and then retire comfortably. However, as Kiyosaki observed, this traditional advice may be insufficient in building wealth. Financial education plays a key role in strengthening our investment skills and building sustainable wealth. The author suggests that a proactive effort is needed to seek financial knowledge, whether through books, mentorship, or seminars. Facing financial challenges requires an open mind and the willingness to learn from mistakes. So what's the secret to financial stability? The key lies in understanding that wealth is not measured by the amount of money you earn, but by how you spend and invest it. Getting rich is a process that requires discipline, patience, and a growth mindset. By adopting a long-term approach to financial management, we can build a solid foundation for financial stability and achieve the financial freedom we desire. Our quest for prosperity must transcend the bounds of materialism and extend into the realm of education, discipline, and long-term vision. We must learn from the lessons of the past, understand the challenges of the present, and anticipate the opportunities of the future. I'm now leaving you with 2 important videos. Choose one and stay a little longer with me.